Hi, and welcome to HR Tuesday Tips with the Millers. I'm Janine Miller.
And I'm Lori Miller, your training development SME. We just actually spoke in the last video about what we need to do to have appropriate checklists and good recruiting sources to make sure we can actually attract really good candidates to our organization. So now we're going to take a look at how do we interview them appropriately. And I'm going to start off today. The first thing you need to do is identify who's going to actually be doing the interviews. HR, managers, possibly employees. And before you even go through the interview process, you have to make sure that they're trained on some critical skill sets. So I'm just going to give you some things that you need to be aware of that you have to make sure that all individuals that are training within your organization are trained on. First is types of interviews that they're going to be doing: stress-based interviews, skill-based interviews, behavioral-based interviews, laws that impact. You got to make sure that they're asking the right questions that won't get you into any type of legal exposures or trouble. Number three, how to interview effectively, how to have an effective dialogue. Also, use a selection test. Are you going to be using that as part of your selection process? And also, too, if you're going to be doing any background checks, how that's going to happen, who's going to do those, and then also some best practices in how you make sure that you make the right choice. What are the red flags you should be paying attention to? So I can't stress enough making sure you have interviews that you're actually doing that are effective, but also that the people that are doing it are properly trained on what they should and shouldn't do. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Janine. Talk a little bit more about that process.
Okay. So once you have your group that's going to be doing the interviewing and they know all of those important things that Lori covered, you're going to gather now all the qualified applicants. And then you're going to review those credentials against those that you identified both in the ad and in the job description. So again, you need that consistency so that you're looking again for all the specific things that you were saying you're looking for. You're going to then develop a series of questions specifically related to the job at hand. Couple weeks down the line, we're going to be talking about red flags and different types of questions and those kinds of things, which are very important. But again, as you're talking about it, you want to get some good questions together. Use open-ended questions that require the candidate to do the talking. And then I go into the listen more than you talk, the 80-20 rule. If you're doing all the talking during the interview, it's not a good interview. You're not learning anything. So be sure you ask questions that have the candidate explain their background and really tell you in detail why they are qualified for the specific job. And then don't hesitate to do that first line of interviewing online or by phone. I'm doing a ton of web-based interviews now. And actually, it's new to a lot of the people out there, but they like it. And it saves everybody time and money. So, start looking at different ways that you interview as well. I do recommend, though, you have a video audio ability because we always like to see who we're speaking to. And I think, our nonverbals tell a lot about who we are. So, just wanted to kind of get through all of that. And the next segment, we're going to talk about the do's and don'ts. You're definitely going to want to stay tuned for that one. But for now,
yeah, I think you got some new information to help you with this process. So sit back, relax. We got this.
We'll see you next time.